Hello and welcome to Ninqueso Live, episode 20. I am El Granqueso and I am joined once again by my co-host, the absentee of last week, Miss Bree.
Hi, bestie.
Is
As
that-
you can hear, I've still got a bit of a sore throat. My voice is failing.
Yes.
But don't worry, I've got my cup of tea.
But you are
So-
back, which is always a good thing. Top of your head's off the stream, but I will fix that.
Okay, fix that. My top of my head would be useful.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Lee. Yeah, I was poorly, and you had to do it all by yourself. It's never as good solo, is it?
Oh, I'm used to it by now.
Let's move on from there quickly.
Yes, I was
do some-
joined by a pre-recorded image of the cat because that is
Okay.
all I could do.
Ooh,
And may I draw your attention to my amazing new T-shirt?
it is amazing. Now, is the Barlet involved by any chance?
Yes, this was actually a gift from Barlet. who-
Oh, is Barlet in chat?
I don't know. We got 3 viewers, but no one said anything yet. There's just a lurker. They're
Well,
lurking.
that was very nice of the Barlet. I can't say
It was.
I've had a gift yet, but hope springs eternal.
You don't deserve a gift. You weren't here last
I
week.
would. No, I know. I don't get paid, so what do you expect?
Well, I didn't get paid either.
There's no sick pay. There's no pay at all.
No, none at all. None whatsoever. I even have to pay for the privilege of doing this podcast. It costs me money.
Oh. You get my company, and then you get Donut Friday and Thursday and Tuesday and Monday. Anyway, what have you been playing this week?
What have I been playing this week? That is a very good question. Well, I decided to download Doom Ultimate on my PC just because I didn't think it would run, and it does.
Ooh.
It runs really well,
Oh.
and I'm quite surprised by it. I would just say hello to Barlet in the chat there, and thank you again for the T-shirt. It is amazing, and Kelly very much likes her cat toy, even though the catnip is worn off now, so she's not quite as excited, but she bats
Barlet,
it if I
I
wiggle
should
it.
just tell you, he sent me a photo of it earlier on today with the caption, best t-shirt ever.
It is the best T-shirt ever.
So he's like well pleased with it. You knocked it out of the park there, girl. Knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, so I've been playing a bit of Doom Eternal. Not played much. Apart from there, it's just been really my streaming games that I've been playing. Obviously, Fall Guys, which we'll touch upon a little bit later at the end of the quick news.
Crowds are almost an everyday
the
sort of
semi-long
occurrence.
news. The semi-long news. And Paper Mario, I've been playing. Dragon Quest 11, been playing that as well. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. There's nothing really new. Too poor to buy new games at the moment. I
know, it's
say
Christmas
after I
coming up.
have actually just bought a new game today, but we'll touch upon that because it was announced in the Indie Direct. And I just couldn't, because I could not resist it. And I'm very tempted to stream it tomorrow instead of the game I did have planned. So
Oh,
I know. What about yourself?
wait, see.
Any Skyrim? Because that's all you ever play. And,
No, actually, I do play other things.
Skyrim is coming to Game Pass next week. If you've not ever played it, which is highly doubtful, you'll be able to play it for
Everybody's played.
free.
Yeah, so I've been considering a different build, but I'm still sort of exploring stuff. So I just enjoy Skyrim.
Yeah.
It,
You can have
it's
more
the
than one
game
character
style.
at a time. So
Yeah, and remember, I have got more than one console, so I can kind of like divide my time. But yeah, I've been playing a bit of No Man's Sky, and I was interested to see they were mentioned in the Game Awards
yes,
this year.
they
which was
won.
great.
What is it? They won best ongoing game or something.
Yes, I
believe.
think it is. I've got a list here. Yeah, best ongoing game.
They won
No Man's Sky.
they won the award Fortnite normally gets.
Yeah. So it's been upgraded, and I really enjoy it. But that open world suits me a great deal. You know what I mean? I'm a rebel at heart.
It's not just open world; open worlds.
Yes,
Millions,
that's right.
billions of them, isn't there?
It's huge.
Have
it's
you
huge.
have you even got off the first planet yet, though?
No. But having said that, I do feel it's the kind of the game that would last a lifetime. You know what I mean? It's real time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to be doing a next gen patch for it soon as well, so that's going to look really good. Like the video they showed of it looked really good.
When we get a next generation console, which will be sometime maybe
Oh, I don't know.
Never.
Might even be longer for me because now my attention is going towards a RTX 3060 Ti graphics card for my computer.
All
Because
right.
it's like, it's that thing though, isn't it? It's like the Xbox Series X. I would like one, but all the games that are going to come onto there are going to be on PC as well. So,
Yeah,
and my
difficult.
PC's already
I
handling things pretty well. And then obviously I've got the option of being able to get like a VR headset at some point for it, and
I'm
so
still considering the Series S.
yeah, I mean, if that's, I think that's kind of what is who it's aimed for. The slightly less, like the slightly more casual game player.
I'm more of sort of like, I have my solids that I will always play, but then I'm a bit of a game whore,
Yeah.
right? So that's where Game Pass would really work for me on the S.
Yes.
I just dip in and out of different things because I've got to be honest, I get bored easily,
Well,
and the
yeah.
boyfriend's always afraid of that, to be fair. But it's one of those things that I do like to sort of dip in and out, try new things, but I flip from one to the next, to the next, to the next. But there's certain games that are so big and so broad and so overarching and sweeping that I will continue playing those for a long time because I enjoy the gameplay, but then the variety within the game is almost endless. So yeah, that's me. So I have done actually a couple of sessions of SSX3 tricky as well. It's like my snowboarding.
Going old school. I
Yeah, I
think,
like it.
so I was just going to say, I think what you'll find with the Series S is at the moment, the SSDs to expand the storage are £220. But give it a year to 18 months,
Come down.
it's not going to be as new technology. And SD
Yeah.
cards do drop quite a bit. That's like when the 1 TB ones came out, they were like £400-500, whereas now they're a couple of £100. So as the time progresses, the prices will start coming down on those things.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's as big a deal as what some people are afraid of, especially for someone that's a bit more casual game player. Like,
You
and I'm
mean
talking
don't
someone that
spend
doesn't.
12 hours a
Yes,
day
it
like
doesn't
you?
play 24/7. I don't spend 12 hours a day.
That'd be me. Have other stuff to do. All right. Shall we go on to the quick news,
The quick
Bestie?
news. I mean, the kind of news that we don't really want to talk about, but we feel we should mention.
That type, yeah. Crack on.
Microsoft Flight Simulator arrives for the Xbox Series X in summer 2021.
Woohoo.
See, that's another reason why I want the graphics card. It's like I've got to wait over half a year just to get the Flight Simulator going.
All right. I'm making a list.
You're checking it twice.
That's the one. EA has swooped in to steal Codemasters from under the nose of Take-Two.
Yes, and it actually looks like it's gone through now. So yeah, bye Codemasters.
Tell me about Animal Crossing.
UK charts: Animal Crossing New Horizons sales are still rising, although they were beaten by that game called Cyberpunk 2077. But I would
Well.
like to see the charts after all the refunds have been given for Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, let's talk about that later.
We will. Banjo-Kazooie, Byleth and Terry Bogard Smash Brother Amiibos are launching in March 2021. Now, the Banjo one looks pretty good. And I'm quite tempted by Terry Bogard because, not that I know who the character is, but I actually really like playing as him in Smash. He's probably my favourite character to play. So I could be on the lookout for those. And this one, I don't know why we got this news so early. Sonic the Hedgehog is getting a new 3D animated series on Netflix in 2022. So don't hold your breath because it's a while
I'm less
yet.
fussed about that, and more fussed about seeing what Loki's going to be like on Disney Plus.
He's not a computer game though, is he?
I know, but
And the
yeah.
biggest quick news
I
ever.
wish he was.
Well, he might be Marvel Avengers. I don't know. Nobody knows because everyone stopped playing it.
Okay, tell me about Fall Guys.
Fall Guys Season 3 started today.
Woo.
And I streamed it. I was there 3 p.m. trying to play it, and the servers were down for maintenance. They'd been down for about 8 hours.
That's
But
rubbish.
it did kick off after about an hour of me streaming Paper Mario. So I went over, had some plays. And let's just say in the hour that I played, I made it to one final and didn't win. And some of the new games are tricky.
Hard.
They're tricky. I think it's just I've got to learn them again. And I've only seen
It's
3 of the new games. There's 7 in total.
Learning curve.
There's ice on the floor now. So
Ooh.
now your Fall Guy is just like, it's like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo when he's trying to run away. You like running the spot for a few moments before you actually get any traction.
Shaggy.
And I don't know
Not
if this
that
is
Shaggy.
I don't know if this is just me either, but I feel they've tweaked the physics a little bit. And like when you bump into other Shy Guys now, it feels like you lose all your momentum almost instantly. It just didn't feel as fluid as it used to be last season. The season when I started to win crowns. They've made it harder again. Now I'm just going to struggle.
Aww.
But yeah, I mean, I like what I see so far. Apparently there's 7 new games. I've played Tundra Run, which is like an obstacle course.
Okay.
Ski-Fall, which is hard. I've not worked out a strategy for Ski-Fall yet. You have to go down like a ski slope, and there's big circles with little holes in, and you get points for going through the holes, and there's like a little big holes at the bottom that you jump in to get the points, then you go back to the top and you just got to get 15 points. And I've not found an efficient way of doing it yet. And I've only qualified on it once. And we played a game where we had to roll a snowball around to make it the biggest, which was a team game.
I like doing that, actually.
It's like, whoa. Yeah, speaking of this is nothing to do with the quick news, but Animal Crossing, their December update, the Snow Boys, they're called. The Snow Boys are now live in there, and you find snowballs on the floor, you roll them around, make them big enough. First one I built, he was like, oh my God, I can't believe you, I'm absolutely perfect. This is amazing. Every other Swan Light have all been, I'm not quite good enough. And it's just like, stop moaning. You wouldn't exist if it wasn't for me. I am your God.
Your creations are complaining at you for their imperfections.
Okay, so that's the kind of quick news with slightly longer news at the end because it's Fall Guys, and we always talk about Fall Guys more because I'm crazy. Moving on. Late yesterday, Nintendo decided to announce that they were going to have... No, we've got more news before we get there. Yesterday, Nintendo just dropped that December they were going to release some more games for their Super Nintendo and NES online apps. Now, there's only one game here I think worth playing, and that's Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, which looks interesting. I don't think I've ever played that one in all fairness. Why is it whenever I do that happens? It's fine. Oh, let me just move this out. I'm so professional. There we go. We moved across.
Smooth, bestie.
So we got Double Trouble from Dixie Kong, where you're a monkey bouncing around. We've also got the Ignition Factor, where you appear to be like a fireman putting out fires.
The Ignition Factor.
Yes, the Ignition Factor. Super Valis 4. I'm trying to move this on to different games, which I can't remember what Super Valis 4 is. And there's the Ignition Factor. If you downloaded Discord, you would be able to see it. Yeah, it's like a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up thing. And, no one needs to see this. And Tough Enough, which is a side-scroller beat-'em-up. And they've also released one NES game called Nightshade that I've never heard of. And I don't think anybody cares.
So why do you think they've released these so close to Christmas?
Because people... I don't know.
Is it anything to do with Cyberpunk?
No, because they're free games that you play if you've got an online subscription. And they've just been very sporadic how they come out, and they just release them, and then all of a sudden this was the newest one. But Nintendo also announced that they were going to have an Indie World showcase today, which happened at 5 p.m. So Sam does not know anything because she didn't do her research. But they had 2 big announcements for indie games. The first one, when the PlayStation showcase was on not long ago, I said this game should be on Switch, didn't I? I did.
Yes. To be fair, you are a Nintendo boy through and through.
Hell yeah. I spit on the PlayStation and Xbox.
The first thing you said about this was, this has got to be Switch.
So,
and I was, okay, right, explain to me.
Well, Splunky and Splunky 2 are coming to Nintendo Switch. But the biggest one, Among Us, has dropped today on the Nintendo Switch. And it's like about £3.60.
Really?
Yeah, that's how much it is on PC. It's free on mobile. So you can now get Among Us on the Nintendo Switch.
I've got it on my phone.
Yes, because we are going to set that up. We're going to set that up for next week sometime.
Ask Barlett if she wants to join in.
She will. Okay, so we've also got there's a few other games were announced, and they were just like, okay, Among Us, Splunky 2, Grindstone, puzzle battler game. I'm gonna Super Meat Boy forever. But basically, there were 2 games that I saw that I was like, I'm tempted. Now, the first one is called Fisty Fluffs.
Oh, okay.
Which is a 4-player 3D fighting game where you're cats.
Oh, now I'm interested.
Exactly.
Now,
The video is playing now. Fisty Fluffs.
Now,
And totally structural
now.
environment. So the cats are like literally brawling and tables, chairs are flying all over the place. You can customize your cat with clothes. And it's just cats fighting. It's amazing. It's very cartoony graphics.
This sounds right up our alley, bestie.
It does. It does. And I was just like, well, nothing's going to be better than that game. And then they announced a game called Calico, where you are a small fairy girl put in charge of rebuilding the local town's cat cafe. And you have to go around, build up your cafe by building like furniture and things. Go around in the wild and find cute animals to live in your cafe. There's like polar bears.
My issue with this is you're a small fairy girl, and I'm a 6-foot blonde who always dresses in black lycra.
You can sort of do that. I mean,
There's a
little girl carried on. So you can ride the cat. You can ride cats.
I'm in.
So this is Calico, and this released today, and it's already on my Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god!
Because it wasn't that expensive.
Fair enough.
So I'm very tempted to play this tomorrow on Twitch.
Yeah, do it.
But it just looks amazing. It's just like cats and little cats.
I would be up for that.
And there's little dogs as well, if you like that kind of thing.
Nobody
sounds
likes
like Bartlett says it sounds like her sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's
I've got
this
to agree
scene,
with
we're on
you.
a scene, and it's just like she's walking through the street, and there's cats walking around, but they're walking upright like little people. And it's just like
Are they wearing clothes?
There's one screenshot where the cats are wearing ties, and there's a cat here doing backflips as she runs around the street. I just don't know what's going on. It just looks amazing. But that cat is like 10 times bigger than all the other cats. And there's another cat, she's holding a cat like this, and it's just like, this is awesome.
Yeah. I have to say, that would be good, but not quite as good as the cat mob that I've got for Skyrim at the moment.
Oh, I don't know.
Which is
this is
cats
good.
in battle armor.
I'm thinking of streaming this tomorrow instead of Bound. But I don't... Yeah, I've just been asked by Bartlett in the chat. So that is... Oh, look, there's all the cats in ties. They just stood there like... Yeah, so that's Calico that came out today on Nintendo Switch, and I was very, very tempted, and I was very pleased that it was well under £10. So that doesn't fill me with that much hope that it's a particularly long game or a good game, but it's a game. It's a game. It's a game where you're building up a cat cafe. So it's kind of like Animal Crossing with cats.
So anything else you like the look of in Skyrim?
Nothing really jumped out at me. I know Super Meat Boy Forever is coming out to Switch, which is like coming first to the Switch as well. I think that's been in development for a long, long time now, since the first Super Meat Boy. But I've never played it. It's not my sort of game. But they stood out for me. Yeah. So, the Game Awards happened.
They did.
3.5 hours they were. It was just like,
yeah,
get on with it.
Quite a big deal, really.
Really? So, yeah.
I mean, as in the sheer list of categories, to be honest. So it goes on and on and on and on.
That was one of the weird things, though. It's like, they gave away, like, a lot of... not a lot, but they gave away a good proportion of... Maybe not a good proportion. They gave away awards in the pre-show.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like some of the littler, tiny awards. They gave out some bigger awards in the pre-show. And it's like, hang on.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Surely the award should be in the main show.
So the Game Awards was a pretty big deal. They had some big guests, didn't they? They got Brie Larson, Gal Gadot, Tom Holland, Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves should have looked a bit embarrassed to be there, but, you know, hey-ho. We'll come on to that later.
Reggie Fils-Aimé. He's the biggest. He was the biggest of them all.
Yeah, totes.
He actually tweeted. He
actually
tweeted about 50.
So, Game of the Year was The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes, The Last of Us Part 2 won Game of the Year. I've never played it, so I can't really have much say in the matter.
I was surprised.
It wasn't really much to go on, really. I mean, the only 2 games I've played that were nominated were Animal Crossing, which I've put a lot of time in, and Doom Eternal, which I've put about an hour in, if that. So I didn't really feel I was in a place to say what should have won. But, you know, I mean...
Personally, I thought it would either be Ghost of Tsushima or Animal Crossing New Horizons. That was what I felt. But obviously, you know, that outsider.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's just people in the industry that vote on it, so it doesn't mean
Fairly
anything.
Subjective, but anyway.
So yeah, so that's one game of the year. Game direction. That I know this got a lot of criticism as well, but again, I've not played any of these games. So The Last of Us Part 2 won game direction as well.
Yeah.
Most anticipated was Elden Ring. I mean, no one even knows what that is.
So how could they have anticipated it? That's my question.
The player's voice Ghost of Tsushima won.
Yeah. Best narrative, The Last of Us Part 2. Again, this kind of went on and on and on and on.
Yeah, there's so many awards. I'm not going to read them all. We're just
also, Best Audio Design, The Last of Us Part 2. Best Performance, The Last of Us Part 2. Fall Guys did actually win a category.
It did. Best Community Support.
Well, you're a whole community by yourself, Bestie. So that's where that came from.
I think the weird one...
Impact surprised me. Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why.
That's... Okay, I've actually... do you know anything about the game?
Not a great deal.
Okay,
That's why I said tell me why.
It's set before a game called Life is Strange. And I've not played it, but I have actually just finished watching a streamer do a playthrough of it. And I could see why it could get that from what went down in that game. It's a very narrative game, Life is Strange. So I think it's set with some of the same characters from that. And I don't want to say too much in case someone wants to play it. And I don't want to do like the big spoilers or anything. So I can see why that would have got it. One of the ones that I'm surprised about is Best Mobile Game, Among Us. Now, Among Us actually came out a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago,
yes,
really?
Yeah, it's only came out this year on PC. But it's actually been out for a while. And it's only this year that it's gained any traction. But yeah, it was still in all of these. You know, that's just me, I guess. Best community support there. I think Best Family Game. Where's Best Family Game? That was the one with... Yeah, Best Family Game, obviously, Animal Crossing, New Horizons.
Yeah. No. Best Fighting Game, unsurprisingly, Mortal Kombat.
There was just no fighting games came out this year, really.
Not really,
But yeah, they're kind of what was the awards. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It dragged for a bit.
I understand one was Best Sim/Strategy Game was Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't understand how that came in their category.
What, a simulation? Why wouldn't a flying game be a simulation? Because it is a simulation.
No, but it's more sort of like direct mapping simulation, isn't it?
No. If you put all of the player aids off, you have to do everything to fly the plane. Like literally, you have to look down and pull off the handbrake to start the plane. You have to switch the right switches.
Oh, really?
Yes. If you switch all
I didn't know that. I've not played it. You're the expert.
You've got like different things
that
you can choose. So that you can sort of have it really easy where you can just... it does all the little fine adjustments for you and you just go out flying. But you can make it so it is properly immersive. This is one of the reasons why it would look really...
you know, I think I've mentioned this before in a previous episode.
Yes, you've flown an aeroplane.
And it really took a long while learning, you know, all the dials and stuff.
She's never going to drop that one.
Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it would be so good in VR because you'll be able to like do stuff.
Best player was Among Us as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've only played Among Us once. I can see how it could be good if you're playing with people that you know and things. Announcement wise, because we always get announcements. For me, there wasn't too much. I know that the internet was going mad because we had a new Smash Brother announced character, and apparently the internet went mad, and I just went,
"Did it?
Who's that? Where's Google? I need to Google who that is." Oh, he's the boss in Final Fantasy VII. Okay, yeah, Sakharov is coming to Smash Brothers, and everyone is amazed, and I was just like, I don't know who that is. Means nothing to me.
Gone over your head.
So yeah, he's coming out. And I think one of the other good things, Microsoft Studio, the initiative, has revealed they are making Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark with Joanna Dark,
scary.
secret agent. So that could be good. We're going to have a while to wait for that one, but
yeah,
I think that got people excited. Apart from that, we had like a hint that a new Mass Effect is coming. Dragon Age, I think, was shown there as well. It was just like it was nothing particularly that we didn't know about.
I wouldn't pick anything out and go, "Where? Look at this."
Perfect Dark.
Uninteresting. I mean,
Perfect
really?
Dark for me. But yeah, that was the Game Awards. I'm sure it's still online if you want to spend 3.5 hours of your life watching it. I kind of had it on in the background.
Moving
on.
Cyberpunk
2077.
Dear.
Do you know what?
Oh, dear.
Here's a little theory of mine. I know why it is called Cyberpunk 2077. Because 2077 is going to be the time they've got rid of all the bugs and make it work properly.
So this is a disaster, basically.
Oh, they made it worse for themselves.
It's as bad as it could possibly get because they've had to offer refunds.
This is kind of one example of how bad this is. The website I've got up for the news article is BBC News, not some little gaming publication.
Yeah, I mean, let's sort of like think of this in an overview.
Yes.
CD Projekt Red were very, very well respected in the industry, and this was highly anticipated. Keanu Reeves.
This game was announced in 2012.
Yeah, and to be fair to them, apparently it is good on PC. But I think what it's fair to say is that people feel there has been a lack of transparency on what the game experience is on consoles. And when we say consoles, we mean last generation consoles. So the PS4 experience, the Xbox One experience.
When you say
absolutely catastrophic.
When you say last generation consoles, let's just put this into proper perspective. Into the biggest player base there is for the game.
Yes, that's fair.
People who have high-end PCs are in a minority. People who have PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X are in a minority. And I've also heard it still only runs adequately on those. It's not amazing on those, like on a high-end PC. But they actually put a statement out. This is from CG Projekt Red, which I think just made it worse for themselves. They actually tweeted this. Dear gamers, first of all, we would like to start by apologising to you all for not showing the game on base last generation consoles before it premiered, and in consequence, not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, when the game's been in development since 2012, so it was being targeted for these machines. And the fact, it's not just that they didn't show it. When the reviews first came out, they were being reviewed on PCs. That apparently the reviewers, with the embargoes they had, were only allowed to show the B-roll footage supplied to them by CG Projekt Red. So they couldn't show any of their own footage. On the YouTube video where they've shown it running on a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, if you look in the details, it's actually running on a PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X. And it's also, again, very contrived footage so that it's running to the best it can possibly be.
This was the best PR you could probably spin on anything. And to that end, this has damaged their reputation of CG Projekt Red, maybe irreparably, because the trust level, like you say, of the biggest player base is absolutely destroyed badly that they're having to try and rescue it by offering refunds. They have said patches will be available in January, February if you want to hold on to your copy, but it's as bad as it gets. Offering refunds, it's like, quite honestly.
I was listening to some other people talk about this today, and like they said, and I agree, they should have released it on PC now and then waited 6 months to 12 months to release it on console.
But this is a story, we've said over and over again over the past few months, is the rush to launch, given the background that we've had this year, just,
But that's it. And it's
can't understand why they didn't go,
why they didn't just put it off even longer, exactly, till it was ready. Because now, the people that have been working in crunch for the past God knows how long to get this game ready, they're no longer not going to be working in crunch for the next few months, because they've now got a deadline of like 3 months away where they've got to get this done again. Yeah. And the whole thing of how they manipulated everyone, sort of like, look at this running, it's really, really good. But they knew what it was like on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. They knew that was going to get them the biggest pre-orders. I think it was, I can't remember, I'm going to say about 44% was on those consoles. So why the fact that they withheld that information was purely because they wanted to get all the money in. They even said a couple of days ago that we've actually made all of our development costs back on pre-orders. So that's why they knew they couldn't show. They were like, well, we can't show this, otherwise we won't get as many pre-orders. Because they know that not as many people are going to go through all the hassle of trying to get a refund on it.
Absolutely. So this is the latest in a long line of companies who have damaged their own reputation.
Yeah.
And yeah, poor.
You know, and I hope people remember this when Witcher 4 is about to come out. I mean, I'm not saying don't get the games in that. It's just like, don't pre-order. If you've not seen exactly what's happening with it, just wait and have a look at before.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's good advice.
And we've also got like retailers now. There's one screenshot of a retailer in Brazil who's put a warning up on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 version saying this game is really buggy, doesn't run very well. You know, buy at your own risk kind of thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, so this has gone a bit of a bit all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah. So don't buy it, guys.
Just wait. Unless you got a high-end PC with a RTX 3090 in there, then you can run it at 4K with ray tracing. But that's not many of you, because not many of you pay like $1.5 to $2,000 for a graphics card.
No.
But some people do.
Some people do.
that was
so.
Let's
them. Move on a little bit.
This is only...
There are spoilers ahead. Resident Evil 8. It's
This goes back to that Capcom leak.
Yeah, so this is Capcom information breach.
Yeah, the game. I mean,
ransomware.
We're quite used now to like games getting online early and you having to like avoid spoilers and things a few weeks before the thing comes out. But we're looking at about 6 months before Resident Evil 8 comes out, and they're already storylines, like screenshots up in forums. So marketing plans, story details, screenshots, it's all out there in the wild. I mean, it's a big amount of stuff. So it's a massive spoiler. So just
and you know, if you're a fan, you're going to have to work hard to avoid this.
Just don't click on links thinking, well, that can't be true, because it very well might be.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, so that's like the whole, again, the leaky thing from the hackers. And them not paying.
Yeah, this
money.
was ransomware. This is Capcom. So, I mean, a lot of stuff came out of that. They stole a lot of personal details, addresses, you know, stuff like that. It was a huge database that they appear to have emptied.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
No. So, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox are friends, but not in a good way.
They've all announced a shared commitment to safer gaming.
So I think, you know, there's lots of ways you can look at this. I looked at a statement. So Dave McCarthy, who's corporate vice president of Xbox Operation, his statement says, "We believe that gaming is for all people of all ages, including our youngest and most vulnerable players. Technology makes compelling entertainment experience possible, and we want to ensure that those experiences, especially when they involve interactions with others, are positive and respectful." And what they've said is they want to be holding themselves accountable. And the reaction to this has been, I think it's fair to say, mixed. What are your thoughts, Bestie?
I'll admit I've not really read too much into it. I just saw the story and thought, wow, that's amazing. I was meant to read it today and I didn't.
So you hadn't done your homework.
I was
then?
counting on you doing your homework for this.
Evens.
I was counting on it. This is like my moment to get you back for not being here last week.
Okay, whatevs. So I think, you know, there's a few things to say here is, you know, what do you want? A bouquet of flowers? Because you should be doing this anyway.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of like that thing where it's like, you get a parent sort of going, no, I'm a good father. It's like, well, you're meant to be.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it's a similar thing to when I see people be like, oh, the dad was babysitting the children. No, he wasn't babysitting. They're his children.
Yeah.
That's a father. That's what he does. There are lots of great dads.
It's kind of
don't make it out.
exactly. It's like, what is the alternative? Them just being like, just go out and do whatever you want. I don't care if you murder people online.
For me, it's like, yes, why is this an announcement? Aren't you doing it anyway? And
Yeah.
I have to be honest that, for me, as a female, the way that I interact in the gaming world is carefully. And, obviously there are different categories of victims, shall we say, once you go online. Being female is one of them, and there are all sorts of other ones. The one that gets me really is, I feel like until you disable the chat for games for under 18s, I'm really not interested in what your statements say, because every parent really wants to know that their child is being kept safe, and this is a no-brainer for me. It's like, don't expect a bit, it's like big announcement, and you should have been doing this all along. You should have been working together and cooperating all along. This is basic in business, ethical business.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Obviously I welcome it, but I do feel like
this should be a thing that goes without saying, unless they'd come out and said, we are doing this to achieve this. Do you know what I mean? If they'd actually come out with some actual thing that they were doing, rather than just be like, we're committed to safety.
Yeah, we're holding ourselves accountable. Are you really? Or is this just another algorithm that they're gonna report? A little bit like Facebook. It does not breach our community standards. It's beheading someone, but don't worry about it.
No, it's like I watched a streamer who was playing Fortnite, and she was like just squadding up with randoms online.
Yeah,
and like she'd do it if you got a microphone, and like a couple of them she played with, they sounded like about 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there was one, and it was just like, you could just hear a parent in the background shouting at them, and then just like, it's like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
How is a child like that getting access to talk to an adult who they don't know and things online? Yeah,
and I had a quick browse through this is a rule I try to make to myself with the internet, never read the comments, but for the sake of research. I know, never read the comments. It's just, dear God, never read the comments. But I did go and have a look at the comments, and some people were like, yes, great. I know there was quite a bit of discussion about hate speech. And some people were saying, it can be a grey area. And I don't particularly agree. Hate speech is hate speech. If you're targeting somebody for a particular characteristic, of their gender or race or anything, that's quite clearly hate speech. But, it's kind of like saying, leave it alone. The parents should be overseeing it. Having been a parent of a young child, you can't have eyes in the back of your head, to be quite frank. And don't we all have a responsibility, as a community? You can't just say, well, it's the parents' fault. You need to, take deliberate steps, because there are people out there, who you can't be trusted. And, for me, it's a double-edged sword. The whole free speech thing is like, well, yes, you can have free speech, but you have a duty of care to others. If you are a responsible person. God, this is getting a heavy conversation, isn't it?
That's why I didn't do research. I knew you'd handle it well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's gone in the comments.
I'll do the next story.
Yeah, it's been a conversation about free speech and parental oversight, and whether you should even be allowing a child to chat online with random people and, all those sorts of things. But yeah, my view is great, but don't expect a bouquet of flowers from me.
And that's the bottom line, because Miss Bree says so.
That's the way it is.
Okay, our final
this is the way.
Story. Right, do you know much about Harvest Moon franchise and story of seasons?
I do know a little bit, and I've also voted.
Have you? I haven't voted yet. But yeah, basically, originally there was this game called Harvest Moon, which is a farming simulator kind of thing, really cutesy sort of world. But then, I don't know the exact details, but the development team moved off, but someone else held on to the name of Harvest Moon, and they still make Harvest Moon games, but the original developers started to make Story of Seasons, which is exactly the same kind of thing, a cutesy little farming simulator game. And now they are in an epic battle to who is going to have the cutest pre-order bonus. Are we ready for this? Are we sat down, Bartlett? Because this might make you fall over.
I know which one Bartlett's going to choose. I think
so.
Bartlett's
We got
on
two
my
cute,
team.
fluffy animals when you pre-order: a chicken or a moosey thing.
Oh, you really have not done your homework on this one. That, my friend, is Buffy the Buffalo.
Buffy the Buffalo. What's the chicken's name?
And I vote Buffy.
You vote Buffy. I don't know. The chicken's pretty good. I quite like the chicken. So
What does Bartlett say?
I don't know. She's been very quiet. So yeah, the chicken is available with Harvest Moon when pre-orders begin on January the 5th. And you also... Oh, she wants one. That's what she says. I want one.
Which one? Which one,
Both.
Bartlett?
Both, of course.
No, she wants Buffy. I know she wants Buffy.
And there's the pre-order when you get Story of Seasons. Buffy the Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffy the Buffalo.
So it's not quite a Diglett chair. A Ditto chair. But yeah, so there's two little pre-order bonuses. We've got the Harvest Moon on that side and the Story of Seasons that side. I'm not going to get either because I don't like those sort of games.
Oh, dear me.
I'm a old fuddy-duddy.
You are.
I'm fuddy-duddy. She wants both. That's all she's saying. But which one is better?
Buffy. Obs.
But that makes the buffalo sound like a vampire slayer. I don't know. The chicken looks a bit cuter.
Looks a bit dodgy.
You just like the buffalo because it's a bit harder than the chicken, and would win in a fight.
Yeah. If there was a lion, you don't really lion would be going down for
lion farm animals. A bit of a weird farm.
No, buffalo can take a lion down.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I've seen that on David Attenborough. Don't question me.
Well, actually, on his back. A fight between a lion. He's just lying there going, "Get off!"
Yeah.
You two are heavy. It's the shape of the chicken apparently that makes it better in Bartlett's eyes.
Fair enough, Bartlett.
Well, anyway, that was the news
for
the week and our thoughts on the matter. Not on all the stories. One of them was only Sam's thoughts on the matter.
One was your thoughts, one was my thoughts.
I never do research. I just wing it every week. That's why I struggled so much last week.
You didn't have me there to fake it for you.
Exactly.
Where can they find you, bestie?
They can find me on their Twitter at Kesso_Cheeselets. You can also find me on Facebook as ElGranKesso74, where I do lots of streaming Sunday through to Friday. And I also stream quite regularly now on this here Twitch, which I've got a schedule in my schedule section. Excellent. I know. Amazing. Where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter as GamerGirl Miss Brie. That's GMRGRL_MISSBRIE. GamerGirl Miss Brie. I'm very chatty. Come and talk to me. I will answer your questions. And with that, have we got any questions in the chat?
Any questions in the chat? I think we've only got Bartlett in the chat today. I don't know where all my other fans are. I don't know where Debbie Jane is and Eva. They're not here.
Take out night.
They're not here. Take out night on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I've had takeout.
You got an app. You could send takeout to me. I could just be sat here and all of a sudden takeout could arrive. But no.
Before we go into tier 3, we're going to go to Five Guys and take away from the restaurant.
Take away from the restaurant?
Yeah, the sweet parlour.
Well, we're not going to eat in at the sweet parlour.
No, it's.
She just wants the cat game. You need to get yourself a Nintendo Switch and get the cat game.
Do the Batman thing, bestie.
Do the Batman thing. I've got a good one in my head now.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Right. Let me get all ready. Will El Gran Queso ever be prepared for one of the what they called? One of those podcasts. Find out the questions to these answers. Same cheesy time, same cheesy channel.
Actual stories may vary. Say goodnight, bestie.
Good night, bestie.